Well, hello my friends, this is Doug speaking. I am going to be taking a video here which is being taken on February 10th, 2015, pretty much exactly the midpoint of winter. It seemed like an appropriate time to kind of give you a travelogue that will show you what it is that took us away from Akron, Ohio to Surprise, Arizona, more specifically Sun City Grand, where we live. I'm driving out of my garage at the moment, and I'm going to be showing you videos from the vantage point pretty much of the top of my steering wheel in my car. So this is my neighbor, obviously, across the street, and we're going to go from there. Any music that you'll be hearing is courtesy of Sirius Radio, Channel 6, Oldies on Sirius. So here we go. We're driving away from our garage, our neighborhood, if you will, which is called the Regent here at Sun City Grand. And I'm going to be going out to a road called Mountain View, which joins 180 degrees around with Clearview. That's a circular drive that takes us through Sun City Grand, which is, with one exception, a completely residential community of about 9,500 homes. So as we get up here on the right, I'll take a right, and you will see why this is called a golf-oriented community. We have 4 18-hole courses inside the community, and as I drive by, I'm going to be rotating the camera and showing you some of the holes that are visible from the street as we go by. Here we have, going before me on the right, a biker. Biking, cycling more generally, is really popular out here. You will see literally hundreds of folks all hours of the day bicycling and riding also on tricycles of one kind or another. A lot of walking. We have 15 miles of trails inside of our community which are completely free of traffic and even persons walking on sidewalks. And those are trails that can be used for bicycling, for walking, for rollerblading, and so forth. So the people you're seeing here riding and walking are actually using the residential sidewalks, not those hiking trails. Hope you can see in the background that the sky is that deep blue color for which we're known out here. It's this way about 93% of the time. There's not a cloud to be seen anywhere. You'll be seeing some mountains in the background here and there, and I'm going to kind of rotate over here and show you one of the golf courses as we go by. There's also some people getting ready to cross up here for the golf course, and they're waving me by, so I'm going to keep moving on. You ordinarily yield to them in crosswalks just like you would to pedestrians. So we're making our way around that circle. Here is a view of one of the walking trails coming out to the sidewalk. We're going up and over an overpass here. There is a thoroughfare that cuts through Sun City Grand. It's US 303, which is being expanded to provide a bypass around the Phoenix area. So we're very accessible to the interstate system. It's just about 2 minutes to hop on. Here's one of about a half dozen churches that are inside our community. Churches are very big out here. We have most of the major Protestant denominations. I'm not aware of a Catholic church inside our community, and frankly that kind of surprises me. But nevertheless, that's the way it is. We do have a Seventh-day Adventist church, and then there's a church which is called Grace United, and I think it's sort of a generalized Protestant church. I don't know that it's necessarily affiliated with, you know, the Methodists or the Presbyterians or the Baptist or whomever. But at any rate, I'm coming up here in a little bit on what is going to be my favorite intersection here inside Sun City Grand. It's controlled by a traffic light, and I like it because it is where 2 of our 4 golf courses come together. Where I'm coming on, approaching the traffic light, will be a golf course to my left and right, and then as I go through the traffic light, there will be another golf course on the left and the right. They have, you know, different names, and as I say, they're all 18 holes. So if I'm lucky and I catch a red light up here, I'll be able to pan through the intersection and give you a view of what these holes look like. There's a lot of water on our golf courses, and virtually all of the holes are what I would call very, very scenic. So I'm going to pan left here, give you a view of one of them. Oh, here comes a red light. So I'm going to pan right and show you another one. Looking out in the distance there, you'll see mountains. These are what are called the White Tank Mountains, and they're actually about 10-12 miles away from us. Excellent hiking trails out there. We go out there and sometimes even take friends out there who are visiting. Beautiful scenery, and obviously a very, very good place to get some exercise. So as I go through here, I'm going to pan to my right, which is another quite pretty view. Another golf course hole there, and then looking over here, there's another one which I don't think we're going to be able to get very well. Anyway, that's that intersection that I talked about. So I have to be a little bit careful here, making doggone sure that I stay in my lane. I think we're fine. A couple of other golf course holes right here. Over here on my left is our ball field. A lot of people like to play softball, and it's quite active all the time. And then over here, the building you're seeing on my left is our wood shop for those people who enjoy woodworking. We have an incredibly comprehensive woodworking shop out here. It's really quite lovely. I'm going to turn right here. Sun City Grand proceeds up the road about another 2 blocks perhaps, and on the left up here about a block is our one set of condominiums. There are about, I don't know, maybe 70 or 80 condominiums in the complex there, and these are 2 and 3 bedroom units. They typically range in price on the open market. For the smaller units, right around 100,000, to the larger ones, maybe around 150, 160, something like that. And they're very nice, and again, they have good views of the mountains and so forth. So here are a couple more golf course views to my left, and then up to my right. Excuse me, as well. And again, golf course, mountains in the background, another view of White Tank Mountains, which are very pretty. Houses are all stucco faced. They're all one level, no 2-level homes. Another golf course view for you, and another one on the other side of the street. Up here ahead on my right across the intersection is another one of the churches. Advertising, interestingly, a musical event of some kind, the Liberty Quartet. I'm not quite sure who they are, but these places have musical events just all the time if you're interested in the kind of music that you might find there. Here's another church on the right coming up, and just before it, I'm going to pan to the right and show you what I think is one of the prettiest golf course views here inside Sun City Grand. Hope you'll agree with me. Here's the church up on the right, and I'm approaching an intersection which has the only example of commercial activity inside Sun City Grand. It's right on this intersection of these two major streets, Sunrise Boulevard, and I'm now on what is called Clearview, which was Mountain View, changed to Clearview about 180 degrees around from where I left. Over here on the left is one of our clubhouses, and also the restaurant, Coco's Restaurant. They'll serve light lunches, light dinners, breakfasts, and so forth. Over here on my right is a little strip center, which I don't think you can see very well because of my... I'm going to go through, and on the other two corners you will see branches of banks. There's Wells Fargo there, and over here is Chase. Now we're going to run down, we're coming back around that 360. We're probably, I don't know, we're probably maybe 270 degrees around that big circle that I mentioned at the beginning. So actually to circumnavigate Sun City Grand inside obviously is going to take around 15 minutes. And as you can see from these shots, there are all kinds of little side streets that go off, and cul-de-sacs, and all these little side streets essentially make loops that come back to the main road that I'm on right now. So from our house, which is 1971 North Wessex Drive, 85387, from our house, it's 3 miles before you'll get to any commercial activity in Surprise proper. It's 2 miles to get down to the intersection that I just mentioned a moment ago. At that little strip mall, we have a CVS pharmacy, we have a real estate office, surprise, surprise, and a couple of other storefronts, I think a nail salon and a beauty spot. Over here is a fire station, which is right inside Sun City Grand, and also that Seventh-day Adventist church, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. I'm coming back, looping over that 303, which I mentioned earlier on, and over there in the distance on my left, I think a nice view of mountains. But over here on my right is probably the second, in my opinion, prettiest view of golf course in Sun City Grand. So you'll get a sense of what that is. And back to the highway now. Turn over into the right lane, no traffic. And you can see golf carts zipping down the street. The ones that go on the street, typically they ride up to about 35 miles an hour. They are licensed vehicles here in Sun City Grand, or excuse me, in Arizona more generally, but you can only drive them on roads that allow them. So there are definite routes, and if you drive one of these things off your route, you will definitely get a ticket if you're seen by the authorities doing that. We're coming up on the right to one of two major recreation centers inside Sun City Grand. This is where there are pools, lap pools, lazy rivers, I call them putzing pools. There are all kinds of things inside having to do with, you know, like gymnastics equipment and so forth. Bocce ball courts. There's something called the Lady Putters. They actually are a ladies group who use this very large putting green that you're going to see on the right here in just a second for competition. They actually play an 18-hole course on this putting green and have a lot of fun doing it. This is called the Cimarron Center, and it's probably a 5-minute walk from our front door. So we're coming right over to the Eureka Springs Drive, which is where I came out on this little travelogue. So I'm going to stop the camera right here because it's going to start looking quite familiar.